I am young Homer, here to guide you deeper into the rise and fall of Zeus. Tonight, we continue Series 8, Implications of Zeus's Actions. Seen and unseen consequences, with episode 71, Hera's jealousy. Eternal suffering for Zeus's lover. In this tale, we turn to Hera, queen of the gods and wife of Zeus, whose fierce love is often matched by fierce jealousy. Unable to control her husband's infidelities, Hera turns her wrath upon his mortal and immortal lovers, as well as their children, weaving punishment and suffering into the lives of those who capture Zeus's attention. From Io to Leto, her revenge is relentless, leaving marks upon the world that ripple through generations. This is a story of love, jealousy, and the power of emotion that even a goddess cannot escape. As we enter this tale of loyalty, betrayal, and consequence, allow yourself to settle deeply into the comfort of your bed, feeling safe, supported, and calm. Close your eyes if you wish, and take a slow, deep breath in. Let Ting calm spread through your chest, as steady as the quiet pulse of Hera's guarded heart. As you exhale, release any lingering tension, allowing your body to grow heavy, sinking into stillness and ease. This is your time to unwind, to let go, and to find peace. Now focus on the steady rhythm of your breath, each inhale and exhale as constant as the steadfast nature of Hera's resolve. Take a slightly deeper breath in, letting it fill you completely, and hold it softly for a moment. Then, as you exhale, imagine any tightness dissolving, leaving only warmth and tranquility. One more time, breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, feel yourself sinking further, calm and serene. Now, let's guide each part of the body to soften, inviting rest with every breath. Start with your forehead, allowing it to relax completely as you exhale. Move to your jaw, releasing any tension, letting it rest softly. Now, bring awareness to your shoulders. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let them fall gently, as though they are the quiet settling of leaves upon the earth. Allow your arms and hands to grow heavy, resting peacefully by your sides. Notice the steady rise and fall in your chest and belly, inhaling as your belly rises, and on the exhale, releasing any last bits of tension, feeling light and free. Shift your focus to your hips and thighs, letting them sink deeper into the bed, fully supported and relaxed. And finally, bring attention to your calves, feet, and toes, allowing them to release completely, grounded and calm. Now, imagine yourself in a quiet garden bathed in moonlight, where flowers bloom pale and soft beneath the night sky. In the distance you see Hera, her gaze fixed upon the heavens, her face calm yet filled with the weight of ancient jealousy and sorrow. She moves through the garden, her power lingering in the air, a reminder of the suffering left in her wake for those who dared to capture Zeus's heart. Yet, in this silence, there is a gentleness, as though her pain has become part of the stars above. With each breath, feel yourself surrounded by the calm strength of this scene, as though you too understand the powerful depth of feeling that guides even a goddess. Inhale deeply, letting the calm and depth of the moment fill you, and exhale, feeling grounded, steady, and fully at ease. With your body relaxed and your mind open, allow the story to carry you into this world of passion, power, and eternal emotion, where even the gods feel the weight of the heart. Take one last deep breath in and let it out softly. Now, let us begin. For as long as Zeus and Hera had ruled Olympus, Hera had struggled with her husband's infidelities. As the goddess of marriage, loyalty was sacred to her, and Zeus's numerous affairs were a direct affront to her power and pride. Though she was bound by duty to remain by his side, each affair cut deeply, igniting a fury that could not be quenched. To Hera, every lover of Zeus and each child they bore symbolized a betrayal that tarnished her dignity and diminished her influence. But Hera did not direct her wrath at Zeus directly. Instead, she turned her anger toward the mortals and goddesses who had captured his attention, seeing them as both rivals and transgressors. Her vengeance was calculated, her punishments fierce and unrelenting. For Hera, inflicting suffering upon Zeus's lovers and children was not only a way to assert her power, but a means of reminding him and Olympus that she was not to be disregarded. Hera's jealousy became a force as unstoppable as the tides, reaching across both Olympus and the mortal world to punish those who had become entangled in Zeus's affection. Her wrath would leave a trail of despair and fear, marking the lives of mortals and demigods alike with sorrow that only a goddess could bestow. As Zeus's lovers faced Hera's punishment, they became reluctant players in a struggle of power and pride between the king and queen of the gods. One of Hera's most tragic victims was Io, a mortal woman of extraordinary beauty and kindness. Captivated by her, Zeus attempted to hide their affair by transforming her into a graceful white heifer, hoping that Hera would overlook her in this form. But Hera was not so easily deceived. Sensing her husband's attempt to conceal his infidelity, she demanded the heifer as a gift, suspecting the truth behind the disguise. Once Io was in her possession, Hera set a relentless watch over her, assigning Argus, the giant with 100 eyes, to guard Io and prevent Zeus from freeing her. Io's life became a nightmare, forced to wander the world as a helpless beast under Hera's oppressive gaze. Though Zeus eventually sent Hermes to free Io, Hera's curse persisted, condemning her to a life of endless wandering, haunted by a gadfly that tormented her relentlessly. Eo's tale became one of isolation and despair, her beauty and grace lost in the form of a beast. Hera's wrath transformed her life into a punishment, one that left scars both physical and emotional, a reminder of the jealousy that bound her to Olympus even as she was forced to roam the earth. For Io, Hera's jealousy was a shackle as binding as any chain, a punishment that would haunt her forever. Hera's wrath was not limited to Zeus's lovers. She extended her punishment to the children born of his affairs, seeing them as living reminders of her husband's betrayal. Among her most tormented victims was Hercules, Zeus's mortal son, who from birth became the target of Hera's unrelenting jealousy. Driven by hatred for the hero, Hera sent snakes to kill him in his cradle, though his divine strength allowed him to survive even as an infant. But Hera's vengeance did not end there. She cursed Hercules with madness in his adulthood, causing him to commit an unspeakable act that would haunt him for the rest of his life. As punishment, he was assigned the 12 labors, a series of nearly impossible tasks that forced him to face beasts, titans, and the forces of nature itself. Though Hercules completed each labor, earning his place among legends, Hera's wrath never truly ceased, leaving him to carry a lifetime of hardship and sorrow. Hercules' story became one of resilience and endurance, his strength tempered by the constant burden of Hera's jealousy. His life, though marked by greatness, was shadowed by the relentless pursuit of a goddess who would not forgive or forget. For Zeus's mortal son, Hera's hatred was as inescapable as fate, a curse that defined his journey from the cradle to the pyre. Another tragic tale of Hera's jealousy unfolded with Semele, a mortal princess who became the lover of Zeus and bore his child. Hera, disguised as an old woman, whispered seeds of doubt into Semele's mind, suggesting that Zeus might not truly be the king of gods if he would not reveal his divine form. Unaware of the danger, Semele asked Zeus to appear to her in his full godly splendor, swearing him to an oath that he could not break. When Zeus appeared as lightning and thunder, Semele was consumed by the sheer power of his presence, her mortal body unable to withstand the force of divinity. She perished in an instant, leaving behind the unborn child she carried, Dionysus. Moved by grief, Zeus saved their child, sewing him into his thigh until he was ready to be born. Thus Dionysus survived, becoming a god of wine and revelry, yet marked forever by his mother's tragic fate. Semele's story became a reminder of the dangers of divine love, a tale that warned mortals of the cost of intimacy with gods. Hera's jealousy, subtle yet deadly, had claimed another life, a life cut short by the pursuit of power and love. To Zeus, Semele's fate was a poignant loss. To Hera, it was a victory in her silent battle against her husband's indiscretions. Callisto, a devoted follower of Artemis, became yet another victim of Zeus's affection and Hera's jealousy. After Zeus seduced her, Callisto found herself bearing his child, a revelation that brought disgrace to her standing among Artemis's chastened followers. When Hera learned of the affair, her anger knew no bounds, and she transformed Callisto into a bear, condemning her to a life of exile and fear, far removed from her former life as a beautiful and revered huntress. In the wilderness, Callisto bore Zeus's child, a son named Arcas, who would grow up to become a mighty hunter. Years later, a tragic encounter unfolded when Arcas, unaware of his mother's true identity, encountered her in bear form. Before tragedy could strike, Zeus intervened, placing Callisto and Arcas among the stars as the constellations Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, giving them a form of immortality in the night sky. Yet even this was no escape from Hera's wrath. Enraged that Zeus had granted Callisto a place in the heavens, Hera persuaded Oceanus and Tethys to prevent the constellations from ever touching the horizon, condemning them to an eternal journey across the sky without rest. In Callisto's tale, Hera's jealousy reached beyond life itself, casting shadows across the heavens and marking the stars with sorrow. To mortals, the constellations became a reminder of Hera's vengeance, an eternal testament to the consequences of divine jealousy. Hera's jealousy was more than personal vengeance. It became a force that shaped the lives of mortals, demigods, and heroes across generations. Her punishments left scars that transcended time, a legacy of suffering etched into the history of Olympus and the mortal realm. The tales of Io, Hercules, Semele, and Callisto served as cautionary legends, reminding mortals of the dangers of divine favor and the cost of attracting the ire of a goddess. To Zeus, Hera's wrath was both a source of frustration and a reminder of the cost of his own choices. He understood that his actions, no matter how powerful, could not shield those he loved from Hera's jealousy. Despite his strength, even he was forced to witness the consequences of his indiscretions play out through the lives of those he had touched. For Zeus, Hera's vengeance was a constant, an inescapable force that bound his personal desires to the suffering of those around him. Hera's legacy of jealousy became woven into the fabric of Olympus itself, an ever-present tension that marked her relationship with Zeus and her role as the goddess of marriage. Her wrath had given her a form of power, but it had also cast a shadow that would forever mar the lives of gods and mortals alike. The victims of Hera's jealousy became tragic figures in the stories of Greece, their lives marked by the vengeance of a goddess whose pride and pain were as timeless as Olympus itself. In moments of solitude, Zeus reflected on the consequences of his love affairs, his heart heavy with the knowledge that his actions had left a trail of sorrow and loss. He understood that his desire for connection and beauty had come at a price, one that others had paid on his behalf. Hera's jealousy, though often cruel, was a reminder of the power of love and pride, forces that could shape and destroy lives in equal measure. To Zeus, Hera's wrath was a reflection of his own flaws, an acknowledgement that even the king of gods could not escape the repercussions of his choices. He knew that Hera's jealousy was both a testament to her love and a force that demanded respect, a reminder that loyalty and betrayal were inseparable in the lives of gods. As he looked upon the night sky and saw Callisto's constellation, he was reminded of the weight of his actions, the lives he had touched, and the suffering that love could create. Though he continued his rule with strength, Zeus carried with him the lessons of Hera's jealousy, a knowledge that even gods were bound by the consequences of their desires. The legacy of their marriage, marked by both love and vengeance, would continue to shape Olympus for generations to come. But even as gods dealt with their own rivalries and vendettas, another force was rising. Join us in the next episode as we explore the emergence of mortal heroes, individuals whose courage and strength would begin to shift the balance of power between gods and men. Discover how the rise of these heroes would challenge the gods' authority, testing the limits of Olympus's influence in a world evolving beyond their control. Until we meet again, may your path be filled with peace, strength, and a touch of magic. I'm young Homer, and I look forward to our next story together.